WideSide Sports. Welcome into the program, everybody. A lot of stuff going down. A lot of stuff happening this last week. Seth's back to feeling better. Looking smooth.
Thank you.
Sexy.
Like butter.
Wow.
Like a big stick of butter.
That's silky smooth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before we get into the good stuff, I did not poo myself last week.
Good job.
Thank you. I for sure thought in the 10 hours that I had the old trots that it was going to come. I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was so afraid to relax. Like, that's how often I was up and down.
To relax a sphincter muscle?
Yeah, like to just relax. I was so scared. At one point in time, so like it went through the house. It was like 11:30 on like Wednesday night. I get a yell from my child. I said, "Hey, what's wrong?" And he goes, "My belly hurts." And I said, "Okay." I said, "While you're up, let's go to the bathroom, and then we'll go back to bed." Before I can get him out of the bed, just yaks all over the bed. It's like, oh, okay, this is great. This is a good start to the evening. That was just the beginning. He threw up about 10 more times in the night, which is part of the reason why I didn't sleep, because I'm trying to catch it.
Yeah.
Or get him in the toilet or catch it in a bowl or something. And then about midnight, I didn't have the northern parts. I was only
southern.
Yep. And from like midnight to like 8:30 that morning, at like 2:30, I looked at my wife. I was like, I think that's done. Like the pain in my, not really pain, but like that feeling that you have, I was like, it kind of like went away a little bit. And I think that was it. I think I'm all right. And I kind of like laid there and I kind of like put my head back and I'm like, nope. I just took off. I mean, it was like 10 minutes after I said that. Like, no, it's not. It's not done. I woke up to. She poked, or I had a phone call. It was like 8:30, and I'm like awake. I wake up, answer the phone call, kind of lay back down. She goes, "Did you sleep?" I'm like, "What time is it?" She goes, 8:30. I was like, hour.
Yeah.
I've been asleep right now. I've been so scared to relax. I mean, it circled the whole house. It was bad. I didn't feel bad. I just couldn't stop going.
You're not the only person I know that caught that bug.
Yeah, it was. I don't get sick a whole hell of a lot. Man, that was a rough one.
It's one of those ones too of like where you just want to sit there and cry because you don't want to wipe anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah,
it can't take any more damage.
Yeah, it's like it's done. It's done. It's done.
The ref's waving it off.
It's time.
So I was thinking about like with your kid. I don't know. Maybe this is just me. I don't have kids, obviously. Is there any thought to just having them sleep in the tub?
We were on the couch downstairs, so it was like like the hardwood. So
yeah.
I mean, it was a little easier. He is one. Now the small one didn't have anything.
Yeah,
didn't have a single fucking issue.
Well, he's
the whole
a baller.
Time. Yeah, and the oldest one will not yak unless he just can't keep it down.
Yeah.
The fucker will catch it in his mouth and swallow it.
Oh.
So it's like you have to time, like I had to time it up the one time where I watched his body convulse and I had to hit him in the back for him to open his mouth. Like he won't do it.
Yeah.
And he lets out this like war cry before it comes to and then he'll go. It's like it will wake you up. I mean,
basically,
I don't hear a lot in the night, but I hear that yell.
Builds the pressure up till it's projectile.
Yes.
Of like, this is coming out with some PSI behind it.
Oh, yeah. It goes. So that's like the toughest part with him. I would have rather had him have diarrhea.
Yeah.
Because he'll go. Like the puking.
Yeah.
He'll yell and then go, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, you got to. Like, get it out. Get it out of your system.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It's a coming.
It's super funny. He calls it the water poops.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because I said, buddy, do you got to poop? He goes, it's not poop, it's water. So he calls it the water poops. So it was like his last time and he finally was able to sleep and he woke up and he goes, I don't got to puke. I said, okay, that's good. And he goes, I don't have to water poop either. I was like, okay, buddy, that's good. Then he asked for a quesadilla. was like, no. One, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Two, I'm not giving you a quesadilla after the evening we had.
That was. It's still the most amazing thing of like it must be like the second brain that you have in your butthole that it knows enough to tell your body of like, hey, this is gonna be like, how does your butthole know it's liquid?
Yeah.
Of like, well, you know, this isn't gonna be solid.
No.
Like
it's like a stomach. Like everybody has that feeling. Like you can tell what's
this isn't
what.
Gonna be.
And I knew it was going to be a bad night from the first one at midnight. At midnight, I called in. Like I set my like day. I'm like, I know this is going to last for a while just from the amount that just happened. I'm not risking it. I don't need to be caught in gym class with a brown river flowing down my leg. Like there's no way.
Like a Texas guy.
Yeah. No way. Not doing it.
Oh man, it's such a bad. Like I haven't had anything like that. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. It was food poisoning based. And it lasted a whole weekend of like, you know, there's 37 trips. And then it's like, I'm so fucking tired and dehydrated that it's like fall asleep for like 2 hours, wake up, like drink a Gatorade. 37 seconds after you're done with the Gatorade, you go poop it out and then fall back asleep. It's just like, I can't.
No.
It's just water, but.
And like, it's not, like I tried to like ration out. I'm like, oh, I made chicken. I bet it was just chicken because I refuse to be sick. Like I just tell myself, oh, you're not sick. And my wife's like, dude, you're sick. Like it's okay. Like I'm like, nah, I don't know. Like it's, She's like, no, you're sick.
I get a little wild with the diet sometimes. You know, I take chances.
Yeah, that's But no, it was bad. So that's rough.
I knew you were in it. I knew you were just like the shortness of the text and of like, done. Okay.
It was at Thursday evening. It finally like stopped, and then instantly got this massive headache for about an hour, just like to the point where like lights like shut every light off, turn the TV off. I just need to sit here, and then I walked outside into the cold. Instantly felt better. Yeah. It's like, okay, that was nice. I just needed that like fresh, like, okay.
It's always weird, like couple like things of, I just jumped in the shower and let water run over top of me and I felt better. I was like, I don't know why that is, but.
I walked outside for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, this was nice.
It is weird though. Like how your body would tell you that sometimes, would be like, hey, just go outside.
Yeah.
Like, what? There's no reason for me to go. No, it's cold out. Just go out there and stand out there. And it's like, it was right. That's what it needed. Now, like when it's like, hey, don't put any more sugar down here, but you do it anyways.
Start to get the shakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need any more sugar.
Any more sugar. Stop it.
Your foot's going to fall off.
Yeah, so that was a nice week. And on top of it, everybody's sick, and then we had a wedding, and everybody's in the wedding.
Oh, that's right.
So it was like, oh, this is great. I hope I don't. I ripped my pants during the wedding.
From poop?
No.
Oh.
Just from them being tight around the thighs. When I went and tried them on, I said, hey, I said, the waist is great. I said, they're a little short. I said, I don't like they literally measured it just to the top of the shoe. Yeah. I like it a little longer.
Yeah, well, that's a little longer.
But that's typically what they
fashion,
do.
Baby.
I know. Obviously not the fashionista. That
They just wanted to clip the top of your shoe.
And so I'm like, I said the length's fine. I was like, whatever. I'll wear a sock. It's no big deal. I said, but like they're really tight. Like the thigh area is really tight. They're like, oh, how tight? I'm like, if I sit down, they're gonna rip. And she goes, oh, well, did you let like the belt all the way out? I'm like, yeah. Like I'm not an idiot. They're like, oh, okay, well. Like, well, just pull them up high when you sit down. Okay. First song, ripped them. It happened to be apple bottom jeans, so I had to get low. I didn't even think. I just went, and it was like, I was like, oh yeah,
gotta have these apple.
I was like, then I just went, and then I had the
look.
You
just go with it.
Well, I had the look of the night. I had dress shoes, dress socks, shorts, and then button-up tie vest. So I had a good look.
So like
I kept the top.
Like gym shorts?
Gym shorts, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good look, and I felt way better. Like, man, I am way more comfortable in this.
Well, but honestly, to be fair, I assume I know which wedding this was.
Yeah. Still one of the best dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from that area. I mean.
Yep. For sure.
I mean.
For sure.
I'm not.
Yes. Still got it. Yeah.
I think you probably would have won best dressed if those gym shorts would have been camo.
Yeah.
It's like that Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
That's
trying to get some pussy
Were you
tonight?
trying to get some pussy tonight? It was all camo. That's a good outfit.
It's a good outfit. Yeah, so it was a fun time. Good time. The best part about like the rentals is when you take them back, they don't even like check them.
No.
They're just like leave them there. Yeah.
They know.
We'll scrape the puke off.
Yeah.
Luckily there was none of that, so we're good.
Well, they're probably pretty happy that you ripped it because it's easier to sew it than to remove semen.
Yeah.
Of.
Yeah.
Is it like you go there to rent someplace and it's like, how good is your washing? Because we're going to have black lights at these things of like, it's just going to be,
come everywhere.
Stain. Jism, if you will.
Jism. Nice. Jism.
I love the word, the jizz.
Yeah.
And it's still the guy that, it's on TikTok and stuff like that, where he takes how it's made videos and then he redoes the voiceover.
Yeah.
And it was something like it was like making sandwiches or whatever. And it was like they're putting mayo down and how it's got like 4 heads where it's like 4 streaks of mayo.
Yeah.
And he just goes, and then it goes to this machine, which puts a jizz of mayonnaise on it. And it's like just a jizz of mayonnaise. I seen another one where
smidge,
where it was doing something like they were mixing, like a Little Debbie or something like that gets like the strudel top or whatever. It's like it was like the brown sugar mixture or whatever, and the guy in the video, it shows him going in like with this little cup.
Yeah,
and I assume he takes some out of the vat to test it, and he goes, in this he'll use this little cup to take some to keep for snorting later. And the way it just flows right in, I'm like, I just get the giggles on that guy. Now, some of them are pretty harsh of like, you got to keep that monotone. This he'll keep for snorting later.
Yeah.
I love the internet.
It is good. It is good.
That was, especially because like this time of year, I don't work a lot, like 2 to 3 days a week max. So a lot of time on like just TikTok videos and stuff. Like I got free time.
Yeah.
I was like laying in my bed at night, like, gee, I wonder why I can't fall asleep till 2 o'clock in the morning. Like I tried to start at like 10.
Yeah.
It's like just watching videos, just giggling.
Yeah. So my wife always gets mad because I'll sit there and like giggle to myself. And she goes, "What are you giggling at?" I'm like, "Video." She goes, "But it's not even funny." I'm like, "Yeah, because you don't laugh at anything I send you because you have no sense of humor."
Yeah, it is.
You don't
funny.
get anything.
It is funny.
Like last night, the dog, the will not like whine if he has to go out anymore. He'll just shit on the hardwood floor.
Oh,
and I didn't know. Molly found it this morning. I didn't know about it. And then when I went downstairs, he had like ripped up like the box of tissues. So I was pissed about that. And then Molly comes downstairs right before we leave. She goes, "Oh yeah, you dump upstairs too." I said, "Dude, I'm about to Lenny your ass." Like, with my cement. She goes, "Oh, what's that mean?" And I was like, "What? You've never seen? No. You ever read the book?" No. I was like, "Did you take sophomore English?"
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Pretty sure you read the book and watched the movie.
Yeah. Dude, no. I'm like, okay. I'm going to old yeller him. Does that get you? Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I was like, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm going to shoot you in the head in front of my children," I'm just going to trying to reference it. Oh, okay, yeah. Don't say that. Like,
well, it was funny if I wouldn't have had to explain it.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Sneak up from behind you and shoot you in the head.
Yeah. You like to look at this river? It sure is pretty.
Sure is pretty.
Fucking idiot.
I had another reference. It was funny. She didn't get it. I think I used Lenny again because she's really weird with animals.
Is that your go-to?
It is funny. It's funny to me. Like if there's a puppy, like she'd just go nuts. And then she had a puppy and she like held it really tight and squeezed it. And I was like, I was like, easy, Lenny. Like that. Like one of those. Yeah. You know, it's like, she was like, what? I'm like, nothing. Like,
love it so much.
Yeah. I tend to rabbits, George.
Yes. Too hard. Too hard.
Too hard. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I wish she got referenced. Like, I mean, I would send her stuff, but.
Well, that's not even like a reference that would just be like for the boys. Like, everybody that went to fucking school should know that reference.
Yeah. She goes, no, I never read that. I'm like, she had a terrible, terrible sophomore English teacher.
Had to be close to the same one that you had.
She didn't go to Upper.
And did she not?
No. No, she didn't go to the same school.
Oh.
No.
Oh, just her brother.
Well,
because when you're a fucking superstar athlete, fucking transfer portal.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to go fucking everything.
Exactly. Well, I remember during mine, our teacher was dealing with like cancer. She kind of missed some days. Well, we already had, we were reading the book and then kind of like watching it as we go.
Yeah.
And she gets back one day and she goes, hey, where are we at? And like, nobody could really like remember where she goes. And before anybody could answer, she goes, did they shoot him yet? And we're like, what? She goes, oh no, we haven't got there yet then. No, we haven't got there. What are you talking about? So she kind of spoiled it for us.
You mean, did we not get to the last fucking scene of the show?
Well, in the book, it's not
yeah,
like,
I know.
Whatever. So she's just based off of that. And I was like, what? Like, oh yeah, no, sorry. I was like, oh yeah, thanks for that.
I'm gonna spoil it, bitch.
Do we have to read the book now? Just watch the movie?
Fuck. You deserve it.
I assume it was the same English teacher you had.
I think so.
Okay.
I never fucking liked her anyways.
Oh, really?
No, I hated her guts.
I loved her.
She probably calmed down in her years since I was in there.
My favorite thing...
I only had her once.
Yeah, so did I. My favorite thing, though, like, she hated freshmen. And she was, like, just very, like, yelling at every freshman in the hall just to find something to yell at. And she would laugh about it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have known her for forever.
Yeah,
you know?
she was a teacher that hazed freshmen.
Yes, exactly. And I know, and like I'm walking down the hallway, and she goes, "Evans, don't think you're too good to get yelled at too. I still don't like you, even though you're a freshman." I'm like, "All right." And then like later on, she's like, "I'm just kidding." I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm not crying because you said something to me." Like,
yeah.
Oh no, the teacher hates me.
Crying because you got a better man's haircut than I do.
I think
get that nice comb over going.
Yeah, I was losing my hair too, so
yeah. At least you guys had things to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. She just rubbed me the wrong fucking way.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it was probably the freshman thing, even though it was not. But it was. I think even back then, of like, I'm not a shtick guy.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of running this into the ground. Because obviously you get into that school when we were, Yeah. Well, when I was there, you were there as eighth graders, so you watched it happen.
Yeah.
Because there was only a fucking hallway. And our lockers were like right fucking there.
Yeah.
Of like, all right. And then you come by and say, hey, you're just telling the same fucking jokes again.
Yeah.
Like, write new shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be this way, be better at it. Bitch.
Yeah.
Ooh, I go take pictures too of athletes. Fucking weirdo. There's like one other person listening that would
understand that. No, the two people that my friends, they know what's going on. Probably Sean knows what's going on.
Well, I know he does. I don't think he fucking liked her either.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. A lot of coaching issues. Changes.
Well, let's hold off on the coaching. Let's get back. Let's go to college first, and then we'll dip into coaching.
Okay.
So I texted you. Obviously, we can get to talk about the first games.
Yes.
Of, first with the Alabama-Michigan thing of like,
great fucking game.
Michigan beat the fuck out of them.
Oh my God.
But just made enough mistakes.
I tell you what, man. On that punt return, if that dude doesn't get his fucking knee down in that half a second he has, and I know he didn't do it on purpose, he's just falling.
Yeah.
It's a safety.
Yeah.
game's over.
If the game ended on a safety, that would have been phenomenal.
That would have been nuts. And I would have loved to then seen on Twitter what random lucky jackass bet that it would end on a safety and won $1 million.
Well, and to me, of like watching that whole thing take down, of like, I wouldn't even think it's safety. I'm thinking touchdown at this point in time. Because 85% of the time when a guy bobbles a catch like that and picks it up and then gets hit immediately, he fumbles
He fumbles it. Yeah.
That was I can't, first of all, because they're never going to, whether his knee went down or anything, as soon as he picked it up in the field of play, it was never going to be a safety.
No.
Because they don't do that.
Yeah.
But the fact of that he held onto the ball.
Yeah.
But that was, and I'm glad it changes a little bit next year, because that was my whole point of the thing of like, there was no question that Michigan was the better team in that game.
Yeah.
They dominated that fucking game.
Yeah.
But since we have to wait fucking 5 weeks to play the most important games of the year, they looked a little rusty.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, exactly.
Why would you?
Both teams.
I'd be like, hey, instead of the NFL playing this weekend, they played in February.
Yeah.
Hey, just take a month off, heal up, guys.
Yeah. And we'll do all
do all this back of like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? College football, a bunch of fucking morons. Jesus.
I mean, yes. What I assume it's going to change next year because they're probably going to get a week or 2 off.
Yeah. I think I listen to Joel Klatt, what he says, because he has very good ideas of play. You know, his thing is, you know, if you don't move anything up or anything like that, you play championship week, and then you can wait a week and let Army Navy just have that week.
Yep.
And then the next week,
you start
being like the 15th or whatever.
Yeah, you have to start then. Yeah. That would make the most sense to me. That's when the shitty bowl games start anyway.
Yeah.
So just let these ones start. And I kind of liked what Herbstreit said. Like, just have the national championship game in Pasadena. Like, you don't have to call it a Rose Bowl.
Perfect.
But just have it there. Because, one, it's a very historic place in college football.
Yeah.
It's going to be warm.
Yeah.
And it's still outside. Like, you're still getting, you know what I mean? There's not that dome feel. I don't know. I liked that. If you want to call one of the playoff games a Rose Bowl, go ahead.
That's fine.
That's fine. But the national championship game, just put it there. Don't move it around.
Yeah, I think that just put it there. Now they're not going to do that because of the money. But
yes.
Put it there and just have it end on January 1st.
Yeah. Yep.
Figure it out. Like, you shouldn't be waiting.
No.
This is going to be like January 15th next year.
If you want to do 2 weeks, then play your national championship game, kind of like the Super Bowl does.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
I get tired of the Monday night shit too.
I don't like the Monday night thing.
Like, I the fact that New Year's Day being on a Monday really sucks. Of like, hey, that second game didn't kick till fucking 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm hoping, because I got to work the next day. Not like I worked on, and obviously I was 100% I was fucking late because I don't. Not only do I not work a lot in the wintertime, I also don't show up on time.
Yeah.
I'm usually an hour and a half to 2 hours late. So that they just kind of know that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's like, maybe it'll be a blowout. It's like, nope, it's come down and rest. Fucking like, no, yes,
that's good.
Like,
yeah, that's a good game. Yeah, that second game was fun. Second game was real fun.
Well, it was just that thing of like, should have been over, but then everything that could possibly go wrong in the last 2 minutes goes wrong.
Yeah.
Guy gets hurt, stops the fucking clock. Instead of getting the ball with 15 seconds, you get it back with 52 seconds. Of like, and it's a 30-yard pass, and I was like, Jesus Christ, they're gonna fucking win.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, man. But I mean, I know everybody was pumped that we didn't have like all the blue bloods in there, but like Michigan dominates Alabama, had some scares, you know. The Washington Texas game, you knew it was going to be a shootout. There's just not a whole lot of defense in there. And then fast forward to Monday night, and I know I texted you Michigan by 4, and you said Washington by 10.
And that, let's stop here.
Yeah.
Pause here.
Yeah.
And I did that because I've been very good over the last couple of years of the Ohio State-Michigan game. I don't let my heart get in the way because I picked Michigan the last 2 years to win that game. But I let my heart on this one of like, fuck Michigan. You know, they can't win this game. And then like,
I texted you.
Very obvious.
I texted you Michigan by 4. And then I always go where I like, okay, Molly, what are you doing? Like, and then I always ask Jackson who the hell's going to win. He picked Washington too, so he's an idiot. And Molly pretends to like Michigan just to whatever fuck with people. So she picked Michigan. First drop, like the first 3 before he broke the one, I was just the way it just felt. I was like, I said Michigan by 4. I was like, I'm changing it. I said Michigan by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, why that? I'm like, I'm looking at it right now, and I can see what's going on. And yeah.
Michigan is so fucking good.
Yeah.
So good. They didn't even need the quarterback. And like I see a lot of people coming out this week, well, J.J. McCarthy a first rounder? It's like, not really.
No.
He's like, he's not elite.
But he will be.
He did what he needed to do. I think he needs to go back another year. But
wouldn't that be cool if he did, though?
Yeah.
I mean, just with all of the everybody else in college football going back.
Right.
Specifically, obviously, a lot of Ohio State players have decided to go back. You heard Quinn Ewers finally come out and actually verbally say he's going back. McCarthy goes back. Whew.
Yeah.
Be fun.
I mean, and I think he needs to, because I don't think he's a first round. He'll probably get picked in the first round just because he's quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But he did what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
Not saying that he can't be a superstar.
Yeah.
It's just on that he's not needed to be one.
Especially Monday night.
And that makes a better team. That's like what we've talked about Ohio State. They're so quarterback centric. If you don't have a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback, Ohio State can't fucking win.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just
they have no other pieces there to make them successful.
Like everybody's like, oh, well, but they got all these wide receivers. It's like, well, cornerbacks are good too.
Yeah. And you can only put max 5 on the field.
Yeah, it's not.
And when you do that, you know what's coming.
Yeah. But the fact that it was such a weird, because it was a game, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like with 8 minutes left in the game, it's only fucking 7 points, and Washington has the ball.
Yeah, and it felt like it was away from them the whole time.
Yeah. Like they, and everybody's like, well, they called that holding. That's bullshit. It's like, it was definitely holding. He tackled the fucking guy.
Yeah.
He got beat instantly and grabbed him and threw him to the ground. That's fucking holding. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Now, if they let it go, they go down there and tie that fucking game. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it was like, that game was a blowout the whole time, except it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it always felt like it had that. Now, I'm sure to any other Michigan fan, it did not feel like that. And guaranteed nobody on the sidelines felt like it was.
Right.
They're nervous too.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, I mean, and then you have your fuck, that dude was a non-factor in any game since Penn State.
Yeah.
And comes out and just, and when he hit the very first one, when he hit that hole and was able to get out of it, I was like, touchdown.
Yep.
He just has that speed. He's got incredible breakaway speed. And then I didn't see the second one coming as fast as it did, but man, it happened just as fucking fast. And I mean, good for him, because it's something that you see in every national championship game. Everybody has their studs, and you're expecting everybody's studs to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
But every good team and every winning team has one guy break out. It always seems like that. They have one guy, and not the guy was not capable. He obviously is a good football player.
Right.
But he hadn't done really a whole lot of stuff since Penn State back in mid-November.
He's not the guy you would have picked.
No. And so that's why as soon as he had that first one, I was like, yeah, Michigan's win this game.
Yeah.
They're having, not necessarily third stringers, but he wasn't getting a load of the share of things. Like, yeah, no, they're going to win because this guy's doing something.
Yeah.
He's playing hard. He's playing well.
Well, and that was then everybody just coming out like, oh, Penix laid an egg, got to the biggest stage, couldn't perform. It's like, did you not watch the game?
Yeah.
He had zero chance.
Time.
He missed one throw.
Yeah.
Really, that's it.
That's
Wide open
the very
throw.
first one. Yeah.
And he had a little happy feet because everybody was in his lap all game.
Yeah.
And then the other one being, he made the throw, the guy drops it on that third down.
Yep.
And there was fucking nobody.
Nobody
now,
there.
That guy he might run for 40 yards. I mean.
The one thing with Penix, and a lot of people talk about that, and I don't know if it's just me, they talk about like, oh my God, he throws a good ball. Oh, it looks so beautiful. I'm like, he has one of the worst throwing motions I've ever seen.
It just looks weird.
It looks so fast. Like it's just, and that, I don't know, to me, that's why it looks so gross.
Yeah.
It's like the ball comes out
perfect,
fantastic, but if that's what you're talking about, that's fine. But like a lot of people are like, oh my God, he just throw. Like to me, the throw isn't the same as what the ball looks like when it comes out. The ball's perfect every single time. But that throw, it's so fast.
The delivery looks it looks weird. It kind of looks like he shot puts it, but like he throws a beautiful ball.
Yeah.
Very catchable ball. But the delivery just looks like
funky.
It looks like Tim Tebow's delivery if it was super fast. Like his problem is it was super slow.
Slow, yes.
But it kind of has that of like But his ball placement is it's always in the proper. It's it's on the outside. Hey, it's in the kid can't get to it. Hey,
Yeah. Just I'm like guys, like I'm not taking anything from the guy. Puts the ball on point. It's always where it needs to be. But his throw, it's terrible.
It's different.
It's very. I mean, it's very left-handy. You know what I mean? It's very like there's nobody who throws anything with a left hand that looks right. Not right hand, but looks correct.
Right.
It always looks funky.
Now I watched a video where they took all his throws from the Texas game and they flipped the video to make him a right-hander.
Mm-hmm.
And it still looks wonky.
Yeah.
It has this kind of look like it's on a platform and he just slides his hand out from under it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, whatever it's working for.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's still got a cannon.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Like that pass that he threw in between the safeties for the touchdown was a fucking laser.
Oh, man. Nice. Yeah, I mean, he's won. The issue with a lot of the quarterbacks now going to the draft, like, to me, I think Bo Nix is going to be a very good pro. To me, just personal opinion.
Yeah.
I only say that because of the progression you saw in college.
Yeah.
And the coaching that it took for him to get where he needed to be. And to back that up, obviously did not have great coaching, individual coaching at Auburn. Right. Because he wasn't what he was supposed to be. Yes, he wasn't.
They just had him run the ball.
Then he gets to Oregon and is underneath Cristobal and has a really good year. And I know he's a good quarterback because he had a whole new staff come in and still had the same numbers.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's going to be a really good pro just from those points. And he's smart. He's played a lot of football, which is going to be his hindrance, is that he's 26. He's whatever. And that same thing with Penix.
Right.
He's older, still looks really good, but I think those are...
But he's older with two knees.
Yes.
That's their...
And his biggest... that's going to be his biggest issue. And the fact that when you saw pressure, he did get a little antsy.
A
little quick there on the trigger. And that's your first to third round thing right there. What's he look like in the pocket? You're a quarterback. You're not going to get drafted to a great team. Typically, you know what I mean? To me, that's a sign. Is like, okay, he needs to get picked later into a team where he can maybe sit behind somebody, whatever it is. But
yeah, it's the biggest thing. And like people, I mean, that'd be another video or something to do of like what to look up of like what they mean when they go footwork of like you can, if you've ever seen it broken down by a quarterback guru or whatever you want to call it, and then you start watching game, like you start to pick it up of like, oh, that's why he's missing just a little wide because his feet are, his lead foot is open. I equate it to golf of like if you're hitting a driver, obviously you want to have a good stance, and then you kick that left foot back of like it throws everything out of whack. You hit a soft fade instead of hitting a tight draw. And
now I like to listen to Carson Palmer's brother.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. I like to listen to him and like, because he'll go down and sometimes like break down videos and put them on Twitter and stuff. And his thing is, his biggest one, he goes, it's one of the tougher throws in football. He goes, the step up is easy. He goes, the only thing that you really have to worry about when you step up in the pocket is then just hitting somebody with your hand and you fall through. He goes, but it's the 2-step slide shuffle to a right or left and then delivering the ball on time, which is what you saw Penix not be able to do.
Right.
He couldn't slide step and put the ball on it. His feet, because if you watch the one I really, really remember, it's the one he missed.
He was open.
He's getting pressure. Yeah, he was open. He's getting pressure on his right, and he doesn't step to his left. And he stays there, but he's trying to move, and his feet, like his lead foot is cockeyed.
Yeah.
So he's off, you know what I mean? And that's why the receiver has to do a 360 to catch the ball. So it's when you say that, it's funny to watch and notice that, and that's why it's a little off.
of it. It's the elite quarterbacks' feet are just, it's there.
Yeah.
Because that's the other one, too, of like mine is the shuffle up into the pocket. And that'd be kind of a baseball thing, almost like that crow hop.
Yeah.
And then you're rifling the ball. It's the shuffle up and throwing across or past the linebacker.
Yeah.
And not throwing it 9,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's
like,
just that little.
There's something about that shuffle up that seems like, hey, we're loading up to fucking cork one here. It's like, well, the guy's only 10 yards away from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of being able to calm that down.
Well, it's funny because you watch the difference between like college guys, and I say this because he's fantastic, but like Brady, when his feet, and obviously he wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but when he had to move in the pocket, nothing else sped up.
No.
His feet just moved a little faster but everything else was cool, calm, collective. A lot of these other, like, you watch like Justin Fields, he's frantic. Bryce Young, they look a little frantic. You watch a lot of other guys, Russell Wilson, he looks frantic as hell sometimes. He just wants to go out and instantly run away. And Patrick Mahomes gets that way sometimes too in the pocket. Yeah. The only time he's a fantastic pocket passer is when he's hurt. Other than that, it's like you have the skills, but he never uses it. It's funny to watch those different guys do that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Patrick Mahomes when he gets better at being a quarterback. Because obviously the off-schedule plays are, he's a phenomenal quarterback. But it's that Brady, Manning, Drew Brees of the shifting through the pocket as opposed to running around it. Like Justin Fields runs around in the pocket. Other guys just kind of shuffle through of like, and that only comes with time.
Well, it's that, and I personally don't think you're going to see him get any better at that because he's never had to.
Right.
Like, watch Lamar, rookie Lamar, and even his MVP Lamar till now. He is a completely different dude in the pocket. Like, he is so calm in there. Yeah. He's not instantly trying to look. He's shy. You know what I mean? He's shuffling. He's moving forward. It's just he's taken that coaching because it's something he was bad at. And I don't think you're going to see Mahomes do that because he's already doing these other things.
And obviously, Mahomes is who he is. And that's the other thing too. Remember, like, he's also still super fucking young. He's only been playing 5 years.
Yeah.
Of some of that just comes with, like, Brady and Manning know that shit because they've done it so much of, like, the feel of, hey, this tackle's back here, and on the corner of my eye, I can't see the defensive end coming inside, therefore I know he's behind me, meaning I can take this slide step up and he can't get me.
Yeah.
It's not having to see it, it's just knowing that that's where they're at.
Yeah. Which is incredibly cool.
Yeah. And then that's the other part of, like, the Justin Fields, like, instead of shuffling and sliding, more of the running of, like, you can't throw when you're running. You can throw when you're shuffling.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get anything on it. CJ Stroud, perfect example. Throwing off balance, shuffling out of the pocket. Obviously he makes that throw because he's CJ Stroud. Like, not everybody can do that. Yeah. But
when you're running
if
around,
he's running, he's not making that throw.
And you're not looking down the field when you're running. You're worried about not getting sacked. Yeah. It's just the cool part of the transition from, those types of places. But it's weird, man. I feels like just yesterday we were like, oh my God, I can't wait till college football starts. And then now it's fucking over. Yeah, it's just happened so fast. And good year, fun year, different. You know what I mean? It was a different year, and I'm excited for the 12-team playoff and how that's going to go down. And I'm really curious of I know we had talked about this probably a month ago now, but how rankings are going to change based off of the 12 teams.
Yeah. Well, you're going to see that, like, with a Liberty or whatever, how they were 13th. Yeah. Like, they'll never be 13th. They're never. You can't be the 130th offense and be ranked, or, 13th.
There's no, like.
Because they're not going to let you in.
No, and that's what I think I'm more excited about. That part of it is you're not going to get Oregon versus Liberty in a fucking bowl game. Anybody picked fucking Liberty, like, Oregon was going to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, it wasn't even
going to be close. One, nobody didn't play. Everybody played.
Yeah. That's the thing. That was the thing, too, of, like, they were talking about, like, everybody from Florida State not playing and getting dog walked and everything.
Yeah.
But then people using the example of like, hey, everybody at Oregon played, quarterback going to the NFL. He has no eligibility left, but he wanted to play one last time. And then my thought going like, well, yeah, but there's not anybody on Liberty that could hurt him.
Yeah,
I think he's bigger than their defensive line.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I know I'm not getting touched.
Yeah, they can't. I mean,
yeah. Like, you're playing a bad team when you're throwing jailbreaks for touchdowns.
Yeah.
And running back screens for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like,
that Georgia-Florida State game, Jesus Christ. And now they're probably going to lose their coach.
Florida State?
Yeah. He's probably going to be the coach at Alabama.
Oh, you think so?
Well, their first 2 shots, I think, have already turned them down.
Yeah, Dan Lanning.
And the guy from, I imagine the Sarkisian's already turned them down.
The one that I heard, which I loved, was the dude from Washington.
Norvell?
Yeah, no.
Or who is it? No, Norvell's Florida State.
Norvell's Florida State, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Niebel, right? I think you say his
whatever.
name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
he's got a... So, I never heard of the guy until they beat Oregon the first time. So I, looked him up. The guy was a high school football coach 10 years ago. So it's funny just how fast, like obviously a good football coach to climb the ladder that quickly, goes to Indiana. The 1 year Indiana's really good and gets Tom Allen a whole new contract. But just like how fast he climbed this ladder. And then now, I mean, it's not like it's a fucking Washington. You know what I mean? Like it's a good Power 5.
You're coming into the Big Ten. I think it's tougher for them to, they're not successful with Oregon, which I think Oregon's a really good fucking job. Obviously, you have Nike and Phil Knight, and you're moving into the Big Ten.
Yeah, no.
Making big boy money now.
Yeah.
And
Lanny's just getting his feet wet.
Yeah. And to leave here, because you're getting fired at Alabama.
Yeah.
Because whoever's next.
That's the hardest job to follow.
Right. The greatest coach ever? Yeah, we'll just pick it up and keep going.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
That's not happening at all.
I mean, their best bet, that's why it was my thoughts was like that first phone call goes to Sarkisian. Mm-hmm. That second phone call goes to Lane Kiffin. That,
Yeah.
Alabama, obviously, we haven't talked about this if you haven't heard yet. Obviously, Nick Saban retired. I can't imagine that you haven't heard that. But the level of their drop off, mainly because they haven't done what other coaches that are like when Urban Meyer retires, the replacement was already on the staff.
Yeah.
As people have walked out of these, like, Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley was already on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there's nobody on that staff that was there for that job is weird.
To me, I don't think it's weird. From what we know about Alabama, they bring coaches in, they send them out.
Yeah,
you know
I understand
what I mean?
that.
Like, I feel if, like, the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, it's his first year there.
Yeah,
he's not getting the job.
No.
The defensive coordinator is as old as Saban, and he retired 4 days before Urban did, or Saban did.
Yeah.
So he's not getting that job. If a Kirby Smart was still his DC, obviously that's his.
Yeah.
If what the hell? If Saban was able to hire Lanning instead of Kirby Smart at Georgia, he's now that head coach. So I'm not shocked that there isn't somebody there.
No, yeah, I know that.
I'm shocked that they did not do it all in the same time.
Right.
That's why I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they didn't say Nick Saban's retiring, so-and-so now is taking over. That's really why I'm shocked. Because now you're giving this 30-day window for players to then decide what they're doing. If you instantly do that in the same day, you probably don't have as many people.
Have somebody in the building.
Exactly. And you don't have anybody. Now, Saban staying and saying, hey, I'm going to be a part here. I'm going to stay. Yeah. I'm going to basically.
Which is also a problem.
Big problem.
For the next coach.
Yes.
Well, I'm just going to go down here and ask him what he thinks. Okay.
Yeah. And the issue with that, and I'm glad you set that up being a problem, I just feel anybody who's having an issue with this guy is going to go ask Saban.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that Saban's going to be like, go talk to him. I just have that feeling like, don't, like this, that's his team. Like, I'm just here as an ambassador of Alabama, not for anything else. Go ask him. That's what I feel like a player having an issue with him.
Yeah.
I'll go ask coach. Well, he's not your coach.
Yeah.
Talk to your coach. You know what I mean? That's where that's where I'm going to have an issue. If an athletic director, somebody in the building, go talk to him. I just feel like they're always going to revert back to Saban of what's going on. He's only going to get questioned now about what's going on at Alabama. Nobody's going to give a shit what he's got going on.
Right. That's mine. I would have. The fact that
give Urban a call.
You might. If you say, hey, nobody wants to follow the guy.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer can. And be like,
okay,
3-4 years.
Yeah.
And we'll get somebody in here, get them in place, get their feet wet, get them ready to go.
Yeah.
I seen on Twitter last night the videos popping up at Saban statue.
Anybody but
Dabo. Which I don't even think they would call him now because he has turned out to be hey, you're not willing to do NIL. You're not willing to do transfers. You're not willing to coach college football, buddy.
Nope.
That's
Sorry,
what
man.
That's what we're at now.
Yep. You're not willing to do what this game has evolved to.
Yeah.
Sorry you don't like it, but that's the way it's going.
Yeah, it ain't going back.
No.
So, but that would be my thought. The fact that the quarterback's coming back at Texas tells me Sarkisian's already turned it down. And also he was told that his draft grade is not as good as he thought it would be. That's kind of like all the announcements of these last couple of days for Ohio State. That's about the time frame it takes for them to ask all the NFL scouts.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, where are we thinking of like, hey, Ibuka, you're not a first-round draft pick. Yeah, you might, come back, get your $1 million, your first-rounder next year maybe.
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing all these guys come back because they don't have first-round grades.
No, I agree with that 100%.
And I think Quinn Ewers probably had a first-round grade, but it was like 30th. Of like, well, you're going to go to a really good team and be a backup.
Yeah. The competitor in me gets that. I get it. You want to go in there and you want to play. But the realistic person in me is like, I'll get drafted and go be a backup.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shitting me? I'll go be a backup right the fuck
Quinn
now.
Ewers being drafted to like the fucking Browns.
Yeah.
You get at least, a year that you're sitting under Deshaun Watson while they try this out.
Oh, you want me to go be a backup in Buffalo?
And then you could have a starting quarterback because you still have to eat that salary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's, depending on what happens this weekend, I think it's like, man, you could really go in and Deshaun Watson not be your starter next year making $63 million for the next 3 years.
Be crazy, wouldn't it? Be absolutely insane.
To just have to hey, we're just going to write you a check, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Because you had to put that money in escrow anyways, so it's already, you already wrote the check.
Yeah.
Of like, we'll just free up the roster spot.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead and go down the line. Yeah.
Not to mention, you got to assume the Haslams are doing nothing but sending masseuses to his house. It's like, just fuck one.
Just fuck one.
Fuck up. Then we can cut you.
What the hell I keep getting these mail order masseuses for?
I think it's going to come down to Florida State's going to lose their head coach. Because you also got to look at him if you are him, of like, well, we're about to be in a lawsuit with the ACC trying to get out of this, trying to write checks to come into this. And like, now is the ACC going to happen what just happened to the fucking Pac-12? Because it kind of seems like it's heading that way.
Yeah.
Maybe now's the time to.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it. It sucks for this guy.
You have a quarterback that was kind of like the quarterback you had at Florida State.
It sucks for that guy because he's getting fired in 3 years. I mean, it sucks for him. I mean, he's not to say that he's a good fall guy, but he is a good fall guy. I mean, he's done a good job at Florida State. He made them relevant again.
Yeah.
But
it's a good coach. It's just you would have heard, if Saban would have stayed another year and not won a national championship, you'd have heard the fan base calling for him to be fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of like, it's been 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, the last natty is him just beating the fuck out of Ohio State.
Yeah. It wasn't even a fucking game.
No.
So I remember being at my brother. I left at halftime.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
I went to sleep.
This is over.
Yep.
I mean,
it's like, we're still getting Eichenberg on Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Guy won the Heisman, but let's put a fucking linebacker on him.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, him retiring, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was going to happen. The guy's 72, but I'm glad I'm glad he was able to do it on his own. Glad that nothing was forced. I'm glad there wasn't any, backlash. And personally, I think he's fantastic. And just to watch how this old man, who everybody says is a hard ass, change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just change everything from the time that, in the early, 08 to whatever, it was just, we're all, 13, 14 personnel. We're going to run the football, run the football. Oh, college football changed. I'm going to hire this guy in. We're going to flip some things.
Yeah.
Just him doing that. I love that. And I had a lot of respect for him since then. But the fact that he was able to make it to the playoffs, at least for his last run, and I'm glad it didn't end up with like a 5-loss season, because then there's he retired because he knows they're not going to be any good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
And had the number 1 recruiting class of like, this shit didn't change.
Yeah.
I'm just, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I look forward to him just being on TV.
Yeah.
And just talking ball.
Mm-hmm.
But like being on a program where he can actually do it, as opposed to these like Sports Center hits and shit like that. Well, we got you for 37 seconds here to talk about fucking Red 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to take fucking 6 hours to explain that. But
my favorite tweet I think I saw after Belichick thing went down today was like, I hope Saban and Belichick get together and do a Kelsey Brothers podcast and just call it Grumpy Old Men, and they just sit there and talk ball.
Oh my God, that would be the fucking greatest.
That would be awesome. Because I watched their HBO thing, and it was great.
Phenomenal.
It was fantastic.
Seen a lot of, hey, we need to run it back and finish the unfinished business from the Browns. Of Belichick going to fucking the Falcons.
Yeah.
And bringing Saban in to be his defense. Because he probably would be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not talking to the media because I'm the coordinator.
I like the one, it was a clip of them winning like a playoff game. And they're like hugging after the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was a Cleveland Twitter. It goes, they got rid of them both in time where they can get together and watch the Browns win a playoff game together.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, that was one I was listening to, Lombardi's book, because he talks about the Senior Bowl always was like it's a big deal for NFL scouts. And Lombardi was in New England at the time, and him and Belichick go down to the Senior Bowl. And it's in Alabama, so they meet up with Saban because they're all friends, because they were all together at Cleveland.
Yeah.
And Saban's wife was out of town, so they went to his house for dinner, and he's like, it was just perfect because there was no dinner conversation. This is just ball.
Yeah.
And the similarities between the two, he's like, he said, when people ask me what their strategies are between Belichick and Saban and stuff like that, because they kind of came up with Red 2 together, which was a big deal. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Set the edge.
Yeah.
Pressure on the quarterback. He said, now their philosophies of pressure the quarterback are different.
Mm-hmm.
Because Saban's a pressure the quarterback at all cost. If we need to bring 2 extra guys, bring 2 extra, just constant pressure.
Yeah. And
Belichick's more of like, no, we need to design ways for 4, for the front 4 to do it, and then maybe a linebacker.
Yeah.
But they're both very set the fucking edge. And like Belichick is set the edge. If I have to send another linebacker over there to help set that edge, we're setting the edge.
Yeah.
And then like listen to that, like you watch these of like, boy, the amount of balls that are getting bounced out to the outside because somebody's just kind of fucking around over there and not doing their job is amazing.
Yeah.
Of like, that shit doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
Of like, and they understand that sacks are bullshit. It's a vanity stat, which is fine. But sacks don't matter because if you're going after sacks, it means you're running past the quarterback, means you didn't set the edge.
Yeah.
It means now the quarterback can get outside of like.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect thing. You've never seen a guy from Alabama lead the football in sacks. You've never seen a Patriot. I mean, like, I want to say like Willie McGinnis might be the one I can think of, like a Patriot being up there in sacks. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody, but if you look like recently, like they have like who was the dude that was there forever that he had 2 last names. Shit, he was there forever. He was there, then he went to the Dolphins, and then he come back, and then when Patricia took the Lions, he went. Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah,
he was there for that was his job. He set the edge.
Yeah,
and he was there, and that's what he did. Like when they signed Chris Long, he set the edge.
Yeah,
I mean, he made a lot of guys careers just by that.
Well, I think Chris Long even said that. I was listening to his podcast, and he's like, when he went there, he got it in his mind of like, oh, I'm going to get a sack on this play, and he rushed by, and the guy squirts out and comes over, and they were just like, hey, you're only playing third downs now.
Yeah.
Like, we can't have it. Like, you're not doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, and people are like, oh, yeah, but like the TJ Watts or whatever, 18 times or 19 times. How many snaps did he play?
Yeah, exactly.
He made 19 plays, and that's what you're basing it off of.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the fucking goal.
Yeah. And you see it, the big time pass rushers, one, not saying all the time, typically are bad against the run.
Yep.
And two, never set an edge.
Yeah.
They're edge rushers.
70% of the time, they're out of the play because they're past the quarterback.
Yeah. The only time that edge rusher is good against the run is when you're reading that guy. Because he's fast enough to get down the line and make a tackle in the back end. That's it.
Yeah, it's the pin your ears back and go kind of guys of like, but that doesn't.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
No. It only works when you have, an inside linebacker that's a stud, or, you're playing that nickel, so you have that guy close to the line of scrimmage and stuff like. I mean, it's obviously there's ways to do it, and the Steelers have done it for a long time in that way because they've always had somebody up there in sacks. But but
the sack off the end is just rare, and people would say that even anybody listening to this can say that. Well, they get this many sacks. It's like still super rare because it only happened 18 times in 17 games.
Yeah.
And it's also, it only happens either one when a guy just completely fucking whiffs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more of an offensive line problem than anything.
Yeah.
So the edge rusher never sacks the quarterback unless there's pressure up the middle.
Uh-huh.
Because if he takes one step forward, the edge rusher can't get there. Or it's from a blind side and he doesn't see him to step up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, a lot of shit's got to happen because, like, if you're inside, can't get a half a yard back in the backfield.
Yeah, means nothing.
That edge rusher can't do jack shit.
No.
Let me shuffle up 2 steps and you're out of now. You're not in the play anymore.
Uh-huh.
But it's their whole philosophy of pressure, and that's what you've seen in the Michigan game.
Yeah,
like they didn't get a lot of sacks, but it was fucking pressure. So when you draw up a play on time on target, 2.6 seconds. And they put you into 2.1 or 1.9 seconds that you got to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
Your offense is going to fucking suck now because you're not on schedule.
Exactly.
That's defensive philosophy 101 from two of the best to ever do it.
Yeah. And then, we go into the NFL gigantic coaching carousel now.
Yeah, that was seeing the Bill Belichick, we both had him on our list that he wouldn't be coaching there, and it wasn't a shocker.
Yeah.
But the Vrabel firing was a shocker, and it just sounds like the owner, she didn't like him.
Yeah. Seems like what it's going down.
She didn't like him. I heard Lombardi talk about it, the general manager, because he wanted another general manager, and they hired this guy he was from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So... And Lombardi always talks about who starts the Civil War.
Yeah.
So when you're coaching on the field, that GM sitting right next to that owner going, see, this isn't doing this. Look, we brought this player in. Look how good he is. They're just not using him.
Yeah.
And you get that chirped out of there.
To me, the fall with the owner, and I think I texted you this, was the draft night, the draft with when they traded A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
He comes out 3 days before the draft and says, A.J. Brown will not be traded as long as I'm the head coach.
Yeah.
Draft night, they trade him away, and you watch Vrabel just walk out of the war room.
Yeah.
Just obviously mad because he made this statement. He obviously was saying, hey, don't trade this fucking guy. He's good. We need him. They trade him, and then that year, A.J. Brown goes off, and then that GM gets fired.
Yeah.
So obviously there was some tension there anyway. Before all of this extra stuff came out, my thing was like, his quarterback was leaving.
Yeah.
You see a lot of these guys get fired because their quarterback goes or this and that. It's like, his quarterback was gone. Derrick Henry's not. I mean, he said goodbye to the fan base.
Yeah, they're not
signing him. So to me, that was like all right, they're not re-signing Tannehill.
No.
We have this rookie. We'll have to bring, that was my addressing to it before all of it. And that's why I texted you. I don't know why, but I just feel like the Titans are going to be on there.
I feel like the Levis thing kind of, because I think if you ask Vrabel, he would say, we don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
I think if you ask that GM, he says, I think Will Levis can play quarterback. And that kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of
the guy has some skill, but again, they're predicated on not around a quarterback set. I mean, they hand the ball off. They have been since he's been there. That's been their mentality.
Well, and that's one thing too of like, look at your division now.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 teams that have quarterbacks. You don't have one.
Yeah.
And I think we could say top 5, top 6 that Vrabel's top 5 coach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Defensive guy, strong defense.
Yeah.
Those guys fucking fly around.
Yep. He always
you
is prepared.
You kind of need to have those guys for what it looks like it's shaping up to be that in that division.
Yeah.
Of like,
yeah.
Now you're going to go out and hire an offensive guru because that's what they'll do.
Mm-hmm.
The defense will take a step back, and they're just going to be they're going to be looking for another coach in 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. The big ones to me that I feel like that are head to me, because there's always those head coaches that aren't head coaches next year, and they don't coach. To me, like, I don't think Arthur Smith is a coach next year anyway, because he's getting a dick ton of money from Atlanta. And I know there's that clause.
You have to look, but be a consultant.
Yeah. But he would be one that you keep an eye on if Vrabel went anywhere, because that was his offensive coordinator for how many years before he got that job.
Yeah.
So that's, you know what I mean? Vrabel obviously will be a head coach somewhere.
Yeah.
To me, just his mindset and everything, like, he would be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because now, I personally think, I know this is a Raider. This is where the Raiders we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I think they fucked up when they didn't hire Biscotti or whatever.
Rich Bisacci.
However you say it. Bisacci.
Be more white.
And they should have.
Yeah. 100% should have.
And I don't think they're going to make that mistake again.
They shouldn't. I think they got their coach.
I think they do too. The guy had terrible players, so like playing good football.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell's not a good quarterback. Not whatsoever.
He's not a backup quarterback.
No, he's horrible. Went 5-4.
Yeah.
Now the only thing that you have on him is you came out of a bye week and laid an egg against Minnesota. Okay, well, it's your first game. But like, he's their guy. But if you're wanting somebody who has experience, they seem very similar. Players love Vrabel.
Yeah.
They love him. You haven't heard one player come out and say a negative thing about the guy, other than that he's a hard ass. Other than that, people love him. So that, to me, that's an easy transition.
Yeah.
Because they seem like they have the same kind of mentality.
That was my big thing, is because obviously also remember who's a minority owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure they know each other.
They know each other very well, yeah.
But then thinking about, I can't remember the goddamn Raiders coach right now. But like
Antonio Pierce?
Yeah, Antonio Pierce. Should be the coach. Should be a no-brainer. He's the coach.
Yep.
The fucking players love him.
Love him.
And then if you're him going, man, I think I got a chance to keep this job.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a 40-hour period, fucking Mike Vrabel becomes available. Bill Belichick becomes available. I'm like, motherfucker, they're going to splash hire one of these guys.
Yep.
And I'm going to.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and people are forgetting about talking about Harbaugh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been pushed to the side already.
Yeah, the guy has taken every NFL interview that he was almost hired by Denver last year.
Yeah.
Before he decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and go back to college.
Yeah.
Like, they were legit. I remember they said they had Harbaugh back in the building.
Yeah.
Anytime they bring the guy back, there is an offer going to be made. And he said, no, I'm going to stay in college. And then 2 days later, they trade for Peyton. So, I mean.
Yep. Yeah, that's and I think being on the Harbaugh side of it is he's waiting for the perfect situation of like, I don't have to be the general manager, but this is the team that I want to have.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going somewhere that's not willing to have this kind of team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of like, we're not flashy. We're not anything. I want offensive line. I want fucking defensive line. And we'll get some pieces.
Yep.
That's it. That's how you win in the NFL. That's how you win in college.
Yeah.
I think that was a Klatt stat. The last 3 national champions, all had the best defensive line in the country.
Yep.
Of like, that's how you win in college football. It's how you win the NFL too.
Yeah.
So
it'll be fun, all these teams now. I think are we up to 8 now?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I said 9. I just got 2 of them wrong. I said Saints and Bears. And
I thought, after the whole Jameis Winston thing, that fucking guy.
Yeah.
You thought of like, you would have to look at like Jameis being Jameis and doing what he did. Like, he's just fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I sure as shit wouldn't want him on my team.
No.
But he's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad he exists.
Yeah.
But when you see that as an owner and a GM looking at that fucking player did that, of like, well, who the fuck's running the team?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was fired.
Yeah, me too.
There.
Me too.
Of like, well, you got it. You're
gone.
fucking done.
You're gone. Yeah.
Of like, all right.
Yeah. Pause. Sorry.
It's okay.
Should have went before.
You forgot that you moved the table over. Well, yeah. You moved the table over a foot before we started so you get into the heat a little more. I understand, but I'm blaming it on you. Oh my God, did you break it? It better fucking work or I'm telling Mom. Yeah. Well, it's not like it landed hard. It landed on the chair. Well, actually, it hit the remote. I'm not telling you. I seen that coming, too, of like...
Yeah, I forgot.
You figure, I mean, this table hasn't moved in 2 years, and then you moved it 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and like you rifled back out of that. I'm like, dude, you're way closer to that box than you think you are. I know you're skinny now,
well,
but
really.
I mean...
I don't feel like shit.
Well, it is funny. It is funny of, like you say, that it's way warmer in here. Like when we started, I could see your breath.
I can still see my breath.
But you have to make.
Yeah.
Like when you were talking, I could see your breath at the beginning. Now you can't anymore.
All right. Jameis Winston would not. There's no way that
you can't bring that guy in.
There's no way that happens.
I mean,
there's no way that happens. This is, I mean, Jesus Christ. That 100% is a Jameis Winston thing.
100%.
The fake knee go. Oh my God.
It's like, oh, you mad at Dan Marino for doing it? He never did that.
No, he never did that at all.
He fake spiked it and threw a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, fake spike. Not a fake.
We're in victory knee.
We're in victory formation telling you that, hey, this is over. We're not doing anything. We already scored 41 points, so it was 48.
And I have an issue with nobody else in the huddle saying, hey, no, we're not fucking doing this.
Like, it's one of those ones of, I wonder, I'll have to watch the playback of what the interior line looks like, that if some of the linemen said, hey, we're going, to not like, because that's another thing of like, hey, I'm going to beat your fucking ass after this game, because or now every time that we play you in the future, if you get in victory formation, we are plowing you into the fucking ground. Yeah. I think that's what you'll see next year.
Well, I mean, if it's the Buccaneers, there's a full-on fight.
Yeah.
Because they hate each other, number one. But, yeah.
And then his whole interview at his locker of like, it was team decision. Why, you don't agree? You don't agree with the whole teim?
Yeah.
What?
No. Nobody agrees with that.
Take a straw poll on the sideline of like, hey, we're going to get this guy a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, I'm super glad he did it because it's awesome.
It's awful. But the only thing that would have been worse is if like that was his incentive. Like that would if he needed like 8 touchdowns or whatever, and like that was his 8th. I only did it to get my bonus.
That would have been better.
I mean, I guess it would have
been better for Jameis to do that. Yeah. And say, hey, he was 1 touchdown away from getting a. Now, granted, he hadn't scored any touchdowns on the year.
I know that.
He scored 17 last year. 0 this year.
Yeah.
Of like, it's just it's a team decision. You're against the whole team.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure. Yes. Looks like there's some receivers and shit had no fucking clue what was going on.
The very back running back didn't move at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like what Shannon Sharp said of like, if I was an lineman, he said I would have jumped off sides of we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Of like, first off, not having the thought process of you've watched every kneel down in the NFL since you've been in, however long you've been in the league.
Yeah.
9 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
And nobody puts any effort in because we're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Of like,
Yeah.
you didn't even take into consideration of like, hey, what if you break somebody's fucking leg on that defense because they get ran over and they're not ready for anything?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, I just felt, it's a team decision. It's just like,
Team decision. Fucking team.
Shannon Sharp's whole take on it, too, was also reasonable.
Yeah.
Cut him today. Fire the coach.
Yep.
Well, you fire the coach if the player
let him do it.
because they obviously don't respect the fucking coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which, he probably, if the South wasn't such a wreck in the first place, he would have been fired anyways. But the fact that going into last week, they still had a chance.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And the guy, like, to me, he's not a head coach.
No.
He's just not. Like,
no, he got the job because he was on the staff.
Yeah. And he'd been there for a while.
Yeah.
And he has he's a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not a head coach. Your offense sucks because it's not a head coach. Calls the defense still.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if the South was anything, like, you would have been fired. If the Bucks had any kind of good, like if the Bucks would have beat him the second time and they put him out of contention, fired.
Yeah, he fired.
Fired.
Yeah, fucking. I just I close my eyes and just see Jameis standing in front of. And he opens his eyes real big. He goes, "What are you?
Yeah,
were you against the whole team?
Yeah,
I mean, the whole team voted to say this. What do we?
No,
we took a vote. Everybody, he was very big on the vote taking.
You good if I do this?
You good?
You good if I do this? Yeah. Coach goes walking by.
It's been funny if the center had been like, no, I'm just not going to snap you the ball.
Yeah.
We're going to get it to fucking delay a game. Now good luck running it from the 5.
Yeah.
Like what sucks now is the defender, like, could have fought harder to get in the end zone if you knew you were going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. I'm glad the Packers won. That way they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then fucking just flip from Jameis to Jair. That fucking guy.
Go Pack.
I love him so much. Like,
the Pack's back.
Team's good with me. Coach forgot I was from here, so I should be the captain.
Yeah. And then almost fucked it up.
Yeah. Which then hearing Rodgers say is like, the refs will. He said that happened. He goes, that happens more than you think it does, and the refs will never let that happen because they know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a stupid thing of like. But
yeah.
And then obviously gets suspended for it. And comes back and plays fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then the interview, like, talking about how he's got to be more serious. I don't have to be more, and he's got this kind of got to be more serious. And then the news lady from outside the stadium, just walks up and she has no clue who he is.
No
and
clue who he is.
Doing it.
Yeah, Packers back.
And she's like, the fans are happy. I'm like, well, that's seems like the best player on their fucking team.
Seems like he's baked 24/7 too. Just baked out of his mind.
That's the funny thing.
I'm sure he's not, but that's just.
You're doing a sports report from in front of the fucking stadium in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And a fan has...
you call him a fan. And it would be different if it was anybody else of like literally, throw the quarterbacks out. Literally the best player on your fucking team.
It has been in the media for the last month.
Yeah, fan.
Fans excited to have Packers.
Yeah, a lot of 6'3" fucking
fans in here. Yeah, running around the facility.
Yeah, nobody in the parking
Nobody's there.
lot. There's nobody there. You're near the players' parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and then today, jog throughs. He steps on somebody's leg and twists his ankle.
Yeah.
He might not play this weekend.
Jair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
idiot.
Oh, fucking guy. He's fucking awesome, though.
He's a fun. Yeah, the serious interview cracked me. I guess I got to be more serious.
Be serious.
Yes.
I love, and I think you can take that with kind of the McAfee, Kelsey's, and these former players and current players. Max Crosby's show that he has now. I love that it gives players the okay to be like, hey, I can just be myself talking, like, because if it was still all buttoned up, you don't get gyragged. That shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I'm gonna fucking do this.
Yeah. Because there's a ton of players who have their own shit. Like the St. Browns have the two brothers. They have their thing going on, and obviously the Kelseys and Max Crosby and the Pivot's still really good to listen to. I still like to. I mean, Channing Crowder cracks my ass up all the fucking time because he just seems like a funny ass dude to be around.
I love him when he gets rookies and stuff in there and like starts talking contracts, and then like you just see him get sad.
Yeah,
of like. You haven't played a fucking snap and you made $28 million this year?
Yeah. I have his rookie card.
Do you?
Yep. Yeah. I remember when he got drafted by the Dolphins.
Yeah. He's he's got some shit to say too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. The first clip I ever saw was him talking about they had the dude on from 50 Cent show on Stars or something like that.
Yeah.
I forget, with Power or something like that. And he was talking about him and his wife pretending that they're them in the bedroom. And it cracks me up every single time. Every single time. Or he's talking about his role playing, like sometimes I'm a cat, It's like every time.
Well, the other one, like Shannon Sharp and Ocho do that nighttime thing now.
One, that's funny.
Because you're getting a lot of Shannon Sharp. He's like, I had her at 2:45.
Yep.
I've never heard anybody say it that way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
And then Ocho, just the way they fight back and forth, because Shannon is such a regimented, I eat fucking rice and chicken and work out. And Ocho's like, I have McDonald's every day. And then he gives Shannon the amount of shit he gives Ocho because he fucking flies like Spirit.
Yeah.
Like, because it's cheap.
Yeah.
He's like, you have like however many millions of dollars you have, because that was one too. I seen like an interview with Ocho about like because the first, like, he lived at the stadium.
Yeah.
The first year that he didn't spend it, he saved all his fucking money.
Yeah, and that's what it's funny because he talks about he goes, I don't have a chef, I don't have any of this. Yeah. He's like, I mean, something like he said something one time. He goes, I have like two cars. One's like my nice car. One's like the one I drive.
Yeah.
It's like, man, guy's good with his money. Don't want to fucking spend it.
Like, I think everybody, because the amount that he would get fined and everything is like, this guy's going to be broke. It's like, no, that's fucking opposite.
Yeah.
Like, the only money he's spending is the fucking shit coming out of his check on fines.
I remember just being a kid and watching the touchdown celebrations and just like everybody going nuts. They're like, oh my God, he's so disrespectful. I'm like, shut up.
Being a Bengals fan, I'm like, he's so fucking good.
Yeah, so good. Then the shit talking cracks me up.
But obviously being a Cincinnati fan, I was thinking about that today of like all the shit that like Bengals come up in a lot of different conversations.
Yeah.
It's shocking for like as shit of a franchise they were for the longest time.
Yeah.
And like today coming up again of like Bill talking at that press conference. He was actually talking like Bill, and then it gets brought up of we're on to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Of like one of the greatest clips of all time.
Yeah.
We're on to Cincinnati.
His one-liners crack. Like when he opened the press conference today, he goes, I haven't seen this many cameras in here since we signed Tebow. Like that's
that
great.
Was awesome.
That's great. That's to me, that's Bill Belichick. Like that's hilarious.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, I'm not going to go into who we think. Obviously, of most of the teams, they try to go opposite from what they had.
Yeah.
Like Titans going to go offensive heavy. Falcons probably defensive heavy. Like they've already asked for like 4 defensive coordinators to be interviewed. Washington's the one that's kind of like, who knows? Because they went out and hired like these parties to do their head coaching search for them. And,
which is shit. And
one, it just tells you like these owners aren't football people. They're just owners.
We're taking all this information. Well, a lot of it's not always the best, especially if it's wrong information. You know who you need to hire? A head coach.
Yeah.
Stop hiring fucking play callers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Atlanta, you hired a play caller. You didn't hire a head coach.
And the bad part is like, you're going to, if teams, and you're going to see it because it's just the way it goes, but teams start to hire first-year head coaches, the first-year head coaches are almost always going to, if they were a play caller, are almost always going to call their plays because it's what they know.
Yeah.
It's just what they know, and they don't feel like somebody can do it as well as they can. Which, I mean, if you were good at it, you were good at it. Yeah. That's one thing. But like, somebody requested to interview like Steve Wilkes. I forget who it was. It's like, one, he should have been hired in Carolina. That's besides the point.
Yeah.
But two, he's one who's done it before. Like, he's probably not going to call the plays.
No.
He's done the head coaching thing before. He's called a defense. He's done this. He's probably not going to do it. These other guys that you go and hire, they're probably going to call their own plays just because, again, that's what they're good at. That's what got them this job. Why wouldn't I continue to do it? But when you really look back on it, who are the best ones?
Yeah.
The ones that don't do that.
Well, because the ones that do that are the ones that fuck up game strategy. Of like, hey, you've blown through 2 timeouts and it's the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's a 3-point game. Think you might need one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't challenge a play because you don't have any fucking timeouts left. Hey, you called a timeout with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left trying to get the ball back before the 2-minute warning. Now you can let them fucking run the ball. Or they can pass it because the clock's going to stop. Or they, it's like all that, basically all the Mike McCarthy shit of how he loses games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you're not paying attention.
You're always going to have the anomalies and the outliers and stuff. Like, obviously, Andy Reid's a big outlier. He's won a couple Super Bowls now, which good for. I'm glad he finally has won one where you can kind of get that monkey off his back. But he has called plays for forever as the head coach. Sean McVay has a Super Bowl, calls plays. There's always the outliers, but again, majority of the time, it's the people who can kind of just see the whole game for what it is.
But that's also the Andy Reid thing.
Yeah.
He does it, but he also loses a lot of those games because he fucks up clock management because he doesn't know what he's doing, or he's not paying attention. He's not paying attention to what's,
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Belichick, how many Super Bowls he's won, he hasn't done it. Look, to me, this is one of the ones that people just don't talk about it enough, is John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh is, to me, one of the greatest coaches in the NFL right now. And since Belichick and all these guys are, he's not a coach right now, probably pretty up there as one of the top 3 to 4, 5 up there. The guy doesn't call any side of the ball. He doesn't even do his special teams thing that he did to get him the job. And all of his teams are always well prepared. They play solid football. He's just a fantastic coach. He has the most road playoff game wins. It's, it's just, he doesn't get talked about enough of how good he is. Remember 3 years ago when he was on the hot seat?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I think that's the thing that talks about it. Like, people not, like, Belichick makes you better instantly.
Yeah.
Just from game strategy. So I think that was the stat today, which is crazy. It's like, 20-some years that he's been the coach there. 3-point games decided by 3 points or less. His winning percentage is like fucking 68%. That is
crazy.
Unheard. And basically, you're talking coin flips.
Yeah.
What's because he doesn't fuck up the end of the half. He doesn't screw up the end of the game. He doesn't,
Yeah.
Being able to, I think that's what Lombardi always talks about. He goes, he said the best head coaches are the ones that they can just glance in the third quarter at the clock and the score and just instantly know of like, we got 6 possessions left in this game. We need to do this, and it just kind of. We can only average 3 minutes holding the ball. We got to go, because there's so many of, hey, you're down 2 scores. You get the ball back with 8 minutes left, and then you just went on a 6.5 minute drive to score a touchdown. Of like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Now you have to kick an onside kick. Of like, the strategy of like we got to go. We got to go. There's 10 minutes left, but we got to go.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you look at the more like, recent ones, I guess, like Tomlin. I mean, how successful has he been? Doesn't call plays.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott. I know this year he kind of called plays because Leslie Frazier, retired on him or whatever, but how successful has he been since he's been a head coach, and he doesn't do that. And
I think a lot of people don't think about that. It's like, it's not like they're not listening to the plays.
Yeah.
You'll hear Tomlin might, no, be aggressive. Be aggressive. No, throw it here. Of like, because you got to just have not a play caller, but play colors or calling an offense.
Yeah. Yes, there has to be a strategy to it.
A lot of guys running these trick plays that they never set up.
Mm-hmm.
Of like,
yeah,
we can't.
Yeah.
You thought like you never handed that off before, so why would they fall for it?
Like when you talk about, guys running an offense, Matt LaFleur runs an offense.
Yeah.
Sean McVay runs an offense. Yeah. Ben Johnson in Detroit, they run an offense. Yeah. Now they do some off-schedule shit, but that's because they've done this so many times. They got to have something to counter. Yeah. Those guys right now are like running offenses. To me, it's what it looks like, from a step back. Yeah,
it's I'm going to run this play 3 times in this first half so I can run this one play with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, obviously Kyle Shanahan runs an offense. Yeah. All of these guys. And then, to me, I'm not saying that Kansas City doesn't run an offense, but they run a lot of plays.
Yeah.
There's not a set boom, like you said, there's not that gradual transition of plays to disguise anything.
Yeah, it's like you watch San Francisco, you watch them line up in the same formation 8 times during a game, and they ran 8 different fucking plays. 3 runs, 5 passes, but they all, the left guard pulled, and then the right guard pulled, and then the left tackle pulled, and then in all those pull plays, they threw the ball. They didn't even run it.
Yeah.
They didn't, it's all.
Yeah.
That was the thing about watching Michigan, too, and listening to Saban talk about it. It was like the thing that messing you up in college because it never happens. The fact that Michigan gets in a huddle.
Yeah.
And then they come out with 15 seconds left. Now you're trying to make all your calls. They're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And because every other place is a look at me offense.
Yep.
And their fucking motion, he's a great caller of a game.
Yeah.
His motions they're fucking confusing.
Yep.
And they're for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I watch Ryan Day run motions in his offense, it's window dressing.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything. It's not putting a linebacker in bad leverage. It's just you just ran this guy across the field just to fuck you. You wanted 3 guys on the right, and you lined him up on the left so you could run him to the right later. It had no purpose.
Yeah.
You just did it.
Yeah, I mean.
Michigan's, every one of those motions had fucking purpose.
Yeah. He does a good job. He does a really good job. And to me, he would be the front runner if he gets the job if Harbaugh does decide to leave.
Because his bad thing will be finding, because when Harbaugh gets a job in the NFL, that Jesse Minter's coming with him to run the defense.
100%.
So it'll be hey, can you call your brother? Does he have a fucking linebacker coach down there that can come be our defense? That needs to be a coordinator because we need to keep this defensive scheme up
going.
here.
Yeah.
But that's the Belichick thing. Like I hear a lot of people going like, well, man, Atlanta's going to make a good push. Or it's like, boy, like you better figure out some quarterbacks because why the fuck would he?
Yeah. And that's, it's like, why would he want to start over again? The guy's old. Yeah. So, I mean.
Well, you mean to draft a rookie and then see if we can develop him in 4 years and then have a chance? I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if he would take the Atlanta job, they'll win the division next year.
Yeah.
Just because he's a better coach than everybody in the division. But what's that mean?
Yeah.
That was the other one I heard Lombardi say. He goes, everybody's talking about they don't have any offense and they draft all these offensive weapons down in Atlanta and Arthur Smith doesn't know how to use them. He's like, well, you draft Kyle Pitts. He's a great player. He's a big wide receiver. He's not a tight end.
Yeah.
He doesn't block anybody. He doesn't help you in the run game.
Yeah.
So you hired a slow slot receiver.
Yeah.
Drake London, great hands, okay route runner. He's not fast. He's actually kind of slow. You can't pass it down the field with him because he can't beat anybody.
Yeah.
And your running back is okay.
Yeah. And you don't even use him that much.
You don't really use him.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to play off of because if the tight end's in the game, you're passing the ball because he's not going to fucking block for so what are you doing?
Yeah.
Plus you're drafting skill positions without a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a problem for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
To think Desmond Ridder was ever going to be the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, we got this guy in the 4th round. Run him out here for 2 years.
Just watch it.
Then after the first year going, let's run it back. He's got it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild to see these things happen, and like you're not shocked.
No.
I mean, you're not shocked.
No.
It is what it is with it, but I mean, the Pete Carroll one to me, shocking because you didn't hear about it. You didn't hear any rumblings, but again, 72, kind of has to start over at quarterback. He didn't seem like he wanted to leave. Seemed like they kind of actually just
that was the
fired him.
Because when it came out, it was like, oh, he got fired, and then it's like, oh, he's going to be in the front office. All right, it's time to retire. And then he does his presser and goes, obviously, I fought to keep coaching.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
yeah,
but you didn't have a say so in this at all.
No, they
were firing you.
Yeah,
of like,
yeah.
This was the. Do you want to keep getting paid?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be fired or do you want to?
Yeah.
So that's he might be in the front office, but he's available for a job too.
Yeah.
He is probably the best fit for a Chargers.
Yes. Yeah. Somewhere like that. To me, that or
scrape together that defense and hire an offensive guy to run an offense and not a fucking Kellen Moore or something. It's like, I just want to run an air raid kind of chug it. I'm like, no, run an offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Justin Herbert's too good to keep missing the playoffs.
Yep. To me, this seems like, and I was thinking about this today, for what, like, they obviously, I said Vrabel to, like, the Chargers, because that kind of like that grittiness, because it's, like, the Raiders always seem like they just have that grittiness to them, because they, they may not be as skilled as other people, but they have a lot of skill on their team, just not using it. Vrabel to Seattle just makes a lot of sense to me, just because of that same thing. They're gritty. Pete Carroll's a gritty guy. How many fucking running backs have they drafted in the last 8 years? They like to run the football, all this, and to me that seems like a good fit for him, for that same mindset of what he's looking for.
But I think about this with you being a Broncos fan. If like all of a sudden fucking Bill Belichick was at the Chargers and Mike Vrabel was at the Raiders, and it was like, what the fuck?
Part of me wishes like we would have just held on to what's his dick for a year and we could have had one of these guys, The year we need a coach, it's the least firings of all the years.
And now it's this year. It's like and then it's going to come with, you still got Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Oh, now you have like the greatest coach ever with a fucking quarterback again.
Yeah. And the other,
and then Mike Vrabel of like
Mike Vrabel, and we haven't broken the Raiders streak either.
Yeah.
It's up to like 16 games too. We haven't beaten the Raiders.
Yeah. That would be obviously I want the guy in Vegas to keep that job.
Yeah.
But like Vrabel's the most Raider coach.
Yes.
Of like
100%.
It's like, oh no, we're gonna punch you right in the fucking mouth. I might fight fuck you, Sean Powell. I'll fight you right here at midfield.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go.
That's the scariest thing. I mean, to me, like you said, to me, that's the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Vrabel in Las Vegas and Belichick at the Chargers. It's like, fuck.
And we're here, don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. Thanks. And we're open to keeping Russ, apparently.
Yeah, because that's going to work.
Fuckers, that's going to work greatly. We're going to pay you $36 million to hold a clipboard.
The fucking point of like the GM going in is, no, we talked, we just tried to keep it professional. And so it's like, no, you asked him to take a fucking pay cut.
Yeah.
Because we want to run you into the ground, and if you get hurt, we don't have to pay you for it.
Yeah, and because you lost.
Like, that's a shitball thing.
If you beat the Patriots, we don't bench you.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. You benched him when you were still in. You could still make the playoffs.
Yeah,
like you gave up on the season.
Yes, basically.
While you were still alive.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy.
Fucking that's like you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's still the Ron Rivera thing of like, oh, we were eliminated?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know.
What are we fucking doing here?
You mean that we still have a chance?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. 100% gave up on the season.
Yeah. You just fucking punted on the last two games.
Yeah.
Like, what
we
the
win
fuck?
them, great. If not, great.
Yeah, whatever. And then to come out and then act like it's Russell Wilson's fault.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it. So, we asked him to. He wouldn't. No shit, he wouldn't.
We're gonna run the fuck out of him, and if he broke his leg, we didn't want to give him $39 million because he's got a broken leg now.
My favorite part, going back now that they asked him to take the pay cut because of the injury thing, you guys were running the fucking read option with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you trying to get him hurt?
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like Cleveland, he had 2 touchdown runs.
Yeah,
they run the read option.
And I'm not a Russ fan at all. Of like, you're the one that fucking you we worked his contract before he even took a fucking snap. You didn't have to do that.
No. Yeah.
They said, well, that could have been part of the trade. It's like, well, then you don't trade for it. Like, we can't.
Yeah.
You're the ones that did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You fucked yourself for
2 years.
At least you're back to getting your picks back now, I guess.
Yeah, we have all of our picks back now. So,
but that's 2 years of fucking
picking at 12. If that was your goal, was to just go ahead and sit him and play what's his dick just to get the season out, you just should have done it at the bye week.
Yeah.
Then we're picking at 5.
Yeah.
And we're not picking at 12.
Yeah, let's not forget you were 1-5. You could have done it then.
Could have done it then.
That's I guess you look at you're picking at 12. Fucking Oregon quarterback. That's about where it's going to be.
That's the one where I would say, and I'm okay with that one. That one doesn't bug me. But again,
you got to pick one. You got to get one.
The problem is, if you pick him, he's going to have to play now because he's 26.
Yeah.
Like, the bridge thing doesn't have. If he's 23, the bridge thing's fine. He's 26.
Oh no, they're cutting Russell Wilson. He can't be on. Yeah,
no,
he can't be on the team.
Yeah.
So it's you're picking him to play, and then it's now you're going to see what Sean Payton can do because he's an offensive genius.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that he is the most genius of offenses.
Yes.
So then you should be able to do that fuck, first year head coach did it with C.J. Stroud. You telling me you're not that good?
Yeah, exactly.
I want Houston to win it all.
Yeah.
There's nothing more that obviously our teams aren't playing in it.
Yeah.
I fucking want that because that would be the bomb that would explode on the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Of we drafted a quarterback and hired a new coach. Well, the fuck didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Guess we got to fire him and trade this kid because that's exactly what it be. Well, they did it.
They did it. Yeah.
It's already going to be that way. The fact that they won their division and are in the playoffs. But imagine. There's a chance they beat the Browns this weekend.
Yeah.
Browns defense isn't great on the road for some reason. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Sounds like Ward's not going to play. He tweaked his knee at practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's.
Yeah.
Everybody's well, they beat the shit out of him last time. It was C.J. Stroud didn't play.
Yeah.
And Will Anderson didn't play either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a big thing. And
I understand Amari Cooper had 230 yards receiving, but
yeah. The thing C.J. Stroud didn't play. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Big deal for them. I think Stefanski has done a great job. 3 quarterbacks, this and that.
Fantastic.
Injuries on the defense, done a great job. I just have a big issue with D'Amico Ryans not being coach of the year.
Yeah.
I know everybody's it's Stefanski. It's the Texans won the South and are in the playoffs. That's a first-year head coach, rookie quarterback, first-time play caller on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody. He's using backups to catch footballs.
Number one receiver's not playing.
Yeah.
They've only got a fucking target left.
Yeah.
I don't know if Noah Brown's going to play
it's
this
the one
week.
tight end.
And he's been on 9 different teams. That's your second pass catcher.
Yeah. And your running back, Singletary's okay, but it's just the guy has done a fantastic job. I just find that weird that the people it's Stefanski. It's but Stefanski has had pieces. I understand your quarterback is the big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I get that.
And the best running back in the league.
Yes. 2 horrible injuries. I understand that. But you have a quarterback now that's doing what you want him to do.
Yeah.
You're running your offense now, bud.
Yeah.
So I don't, it's Joe Flacco. I don't care that he's old and hasn't played in a while. The guy has a fucking Super Bowl.
He's still Joe Flacco.
Yeah, the guy has a fucking Super Bowl in him. And he's
Flacco.
Fucking Ravens. No, I mean, it's Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
It's not Case Keenum. It's not whoever, if it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson and you're doing this, coach of the year.
Yeah.
Coach of the year. If it's PJ Walker, coach of the year.
Yeah.
Let's not forget when those two played, they didn't fucking win. They had to sign Joe Flacco. And everybody's amazed.
It wasn't great when they had their starting quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was fucking 4-1 or whatever, but their offense was
terrible.
Horrible. The only team that they did anything against was the fucking Bengals, and their defense sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I have an issue with that, of the talk of that.
Yeah, and everybody forgetting what the Texans were. It was hey, they got to, the quarterback could be okay, but this is a 3 to 4 year. This franchise is so shit.
Yeah.
Nope, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah. We won our division.
Yeah. Yeah, we ripped the hearts out of Indianapolis in their own fucking building.
Yeah.
Now, granted, our kicker missed the fucking extra point. We probably should have lost that game because they dropped that 4th down pass.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's all I'm thinking when he throws that he's wide open before he drops. Like, oh, they're going to score and make their extra point, and C.J. Stroud's going to miss the playoffs by 1 point because the kicker missed a fucking extra point.
Yeah,
like that sucks.
No, I mean, but again, you win the division, playoffs,
home game,
first year head coach, first year quarterback. Had some injuries. Coach of the year. 100% coach of the year.
Flacco, comeback player of the year.
100%.
Now, if you give it to Hamlin, okay, he did die.
Yes, exactly. No,
I get it. He also only played in 3 games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But if you want to give it to him,
but
I got no problem with that.
No problem with that.
Guy died on the football field and then came back and played in games.
Yes, he is the Undertaker.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the. And it would just be the Texans take the life out of Indianapolis, take the life out of fucking Jacksonville.
And
then everybody's got this of like, holy fuck, Joe Flacco and the Browns are going to come into Baltimore next week to play.
Yeah.
Like, this is the story. Let's take the fucking heart out of that one, too. I mean.
Yep. Yeah.
Even though that's a great story of Joe Flacco comes in with the Browns. The old Browns against the new Browns with the old Browns quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did love seeing that interview with Flacco talking about everybody in the locker rooms, and Stavros did that. He's like, as soon as I walked in, it was like, hey, Flacco.
Yeah. It's funny. Old Stavy.
He is fucking hilarious, man. And his like podcast or whatever, like obviously a big fella.
Yeah.
He is aggressive with what he wears and how he sits to the camera.
Yes. His gut,
fucking gut hanging out, legs wide open.
And his shorts are always shorter than hell. It's hilarious.
Also 33 years old.
I know.
I thought he was 50.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I love that part of his stand-up where he's like, you always get people going, hey, big fella. He's like, I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Did I send you the clip with him and that gay comedian?
Yeah.
God, that cracked my ass up. Like
your aunt knew,
your aunt knew, but nobody else knew.
And then him going, I didn't even
think about that. Got you the bitchiest
Disney character
there is.
Oh, that guy is fucking hilarious.
Oh, God.
You ever see the cut up of, there's a guy that, like, he takes all the Rogan clips.
Oh, yeah.
And he cuts out and, like, where you have Joe Rogan interviewing Joe Rogan. You ever seen the one with him and David Goggins?
Yes.
And he's
you're
like,
fat as fuck.
You're fat as fuck. I know. I like to eat.
Yeah.
It like gets uncomfortable. Like, like you lose track for a second that they're not in the same room.
No.
Like, this didn't happen.
No.
Of like, is Goggins going to come across the table and fucking hit him?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, this is uncomfortable.
You fat as fuck.
Yeah. Eat a fucking cookie. You're not going to eat a cookie, man? Like, what's wrong with you? It's funny.
True. All right. Well, what do you got this weekend? I got the Texans winning. I got the Chiefs winning. I got the Bills winning. Who am I missing? That's all right. Is that it on the AFC?
The AFC, yeah, should be, yeah.
So, because that's the other one they're talking about. It's like 40-mile-an-hour winds in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and TJ Watt's not playing.
Yeah. So.
Big difference when he doesn't
That's what I got. So I got that. And then in the NFC, I think the Packers upset the fucking world.
Yeah.
I think just the fact that I get tired of hearing about the Cowboys defense, how good it is. Like, one, they can't stop the run.
Yeah.
So if the Packers don't do Packers shit on defense and get down 14, they can run the fucking ball. And the Cowboys cannot stop. It's like, it's all well and good to have these pass rushers, but they sure as shit can't tackle a running back.
Yeah.
So I got the Packers.
Lions or Rams?
Fucking give it to the Lions.
All righty.
Give it to the Lions. And then you got Eagles.
Bucks. I know.
Eagles.
Okay.
So Baker didn't practice today.
Yeah.
So
he practiced the other day with a Zin in his pocket. Did you see that container? I don't want to pick exactly what you pick, so I'll be a little interesting. I'll go Browns. Browns on the road. Chiefs. There's no way the Dolphins win if it's fucking 0 degrees in Arrowhead. And then I think the Bills win too.
Yeah.
I mean, TJ Watt not playing, 40-mile-an-hour wind. Mason Rudolph can only throw the ball down the field.
Yeah,
so
pretty tough to do that.
Pretty tough to do that. So I'll go Browns, Bills, Chiefs, and then I'm gonna go. I love Detroit, but I'm gonna go Rams, Eagles, and I'm gonna go Packers too.
Yeah,
I think they end up pulling that off.
That's the other one. I'll tell you what. Like, you got Cleveland and you got Houston. You could make a valid point of McVay being coach of the year.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Nobody. The fact that that's kind of more of a heartfelt thing for being a Bengals fan of like, boy, it'd be nice if Detroit would get a win.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what it would do for the city. But, man, fucking Rams, like,
the
like
fact that last year
they were a coin flip away from beating fucking Baltimore.
Yeah.
And like,
and the fact that, like we talked about before the year, like Aaron Donald's traded before the trade deadline. Like this, like these guys are gone, and McVay wasn't sure if he was coming back, and good for him.
I think that's one of those games where I sure as hell can see Dan Campbell losing it.
Yes.
Like him being the reason they lose.
Yeah,
of like,
because he's going to do something stupid.
It's first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4th and 1 on our own 20. Fucking go for it.
Yeah.
And then like, well, now you're down 14-0.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
McVay, I feel, is a better play caller than what Aaron Glenn is a defensive play caller.
Yeah.
And their pass defense is not great. DB-wise, their secondary is not great. Now getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson back helps a lot. But just their passing concepts and having Matt Stafford, like it's, you know.
Yeah.
I can see them winning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more of a hard, like if I had to put hard money on it, I don't know what the line is, but I would probably take the Rams, but I'm picking them for, come on, Detroit, you need a fucking win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, out of 40 fucking NBA games, you only got like 2.
Yeah.
You
need a win for this city.
Bad.
You need a win.
It's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be good. I'm pumped up. I hate that it's got the. I liked the 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday. I hate the fucking Monday night thing.
Monday one's stupid.
And then you're doing the fucking night or the Steelers games on fucking Peacock.
No, the Chiefs games on Peacock.
Chiefs games on Peacock.
Fucking stupid.
Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Dumb.
Hey, buy another app.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I already pay for the NBC shit.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's fucking assholes.
Because that's the other thing of like that I hate is, well, Peacock or Paramount or whatever it is. Yeah, you have to. Okay, I bought your app, so can I watch the shows that are on? No. You have to buy cable. So if you can't watch this game if you don't have cable through this app.
Yeah.
So you have to have both.
Stupid.
Like,
it's dumb.
Well, can't you just upcharge me the extra $1.85 from the fucking cable package? I mean,
stupid.
Fucking assholes. Now apps are just cable.
Yeah.
Bundle all the things together. Plus, you got to have cable if you want to watch sports. Fuck. Tough life. Tough life. You got anything else?
No, sir.
Let's finish this bitch.
WideSide.